Welcome back. This is Genesis with soooooo Education and Beauty Supply, and today we are making a soap for my little sister's baby shower. And it just so happens to be the one that I'm going to submit for the Soap Challenge Club. She loves rose gold, so the first color mix that I did was 2 parts Rapunzel, 1 part Magic Moments, and 1 part Gold Enigma. We'll come back to more information on that in a second. The second color that I mixed together was Flower Girl, basically a 1-to-1 ratio of Flower Girl and Material Girl. And then the third, pink color, basically I'm just utilizing the fact that this has calamine powder in it and hoping that once everything is diluted with the measurements that I did, that it's going to be a really nice soft pink color. And then I also separated out a portion where I originally wanted it to be white, but I thought with the calamine powder, if I put it in everything, then it would maybe be like a softer white and kind of tie everything together, and I wouldn't have to use as much titanium dioxide. And so that was kind of where I went with that direction. And in the white, I also put Super Sparkles in there, which does really sparkle. So in dividing out my mixture, I decided to do 1,041 grams of the white and 2,082 grams of the naturally colored, calamine pink, basically. And then the other 2 colors, 3 mixes, would be 694, knowing that the main portion of my mix was going to end up being the pink coming in from the 2 sides of this spin swirl. So things that I would change about the colors, I guess in order to get a true rose gold, instead of what you see me mixing here, it does end up being shimmery, but it's more of a shimmery brown. So I guess I should have just done oils and waters and, mica in oil in order to get a true gold from it. And I think it would have been really gorgeous. Either way, I do really love the shimmer that ended up being in here. I'm pretty sure that kind of came from the Gold Enigma, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that one because it did not turn plain like the regular mica would. So I'm really loving, that darker color is with the Flower Girl and Material Girl. With having the calamine powder as a base, I think it really just hit the spot with this. I love how even you start to get a little bit of that swirl with the darker color in the center of this, and just so fun. It did take me a long time to be able to pour, but I learned a lot from this for sure about the different colors. And I think if I had with the titanium dioxide, if I had stick blended, even just a couple of pulses with the immersion blender, I think that would have actually made more of the soft white color that I was looking for. Because when I got done with this and flipped it over, you could see the little titanium dioxide specks. And I thought that I mixed it in really well, and I kept on adding to try to get it whiter. And when I noticed that it just wasn't becoming whiter, I just kind of gave up. I wanted to make sure I had enough time for this pour because this was the first time I was doing this, and I wasn't sure how long this whole process was going to go. So having made another one now, I definitely think if I'm going to put the titanium dioxide in there, you need to pulsate it just a little bit because it just immediately lightened everything up so much. So notes to self, for the rose gold, do a mica and oil line, and for the titanium dioxide, even though I still premix it in water, and this time I did change the ratio to where I'm following what Nurture soap guidelines are, which is basically 1 part, like if you did a half a teaspoon of the titanium dioxide, you would do a quarter, like half of that of water, and it definitely mixes in just fine, so you don't have so much extra water added. I loved seeing this little shimmer in there. I was super excited. Once it kind of lost its shine, I did hit it with the 90% isopropyl alcohol, and I stuck it in my warm oven, and like pre-warmed oven, and then I shut it off once I stuck it in there with the cap on it, and left it for a couple of days, because as I'm learning with the higher water content I'm using, a couple of days is definitely better. And I love this mold. It was one that I had gotten from Amazon, and it is a high quality for, you know, coming from Amazon. You can even see that beautiful shimmer. We are back, and this is a big old log of soap. I will say that. Even though I do wish that some of the lighter colors in here like were actually white, I am still happy with the color variation that happened in here so far. It does look like some of the super sparkles that I had in there are actually going to be sparkly. And then this is the bottom. And you can see some of these bigger pieces are the chunks of the titanium dioxide that I thought that I like blended in there really well, that didn't blend in there really well. So I'm still working out that problem, but I got my slab cutter. This is the one I got from Workshop Heritage. I hope that I have tightened enough. I did the measurement basically from here to here, and I'm doing it in millimeters because that's just a little bit easier. So I have this set to 85 millimeters, and we're just going to start cutting because I don't really like, I hope that I'm doing this correctly, because I know I'm going to have to plane the top and the bottom off, but I'm just not sure. So I'm maybe going to make it like a little bit tighter and see. Oh, that's a lot darker on the inside, huh? So these are definitely the little sparklies in there for sure. And this brown one should have been the rose gold, but unless I guess I would have done the mica and oils, I guess that it probably wouldn't have come out that way. Oh, I think I did it wrong. Huh. How did I do that wrong? Oh, maybe I think that was this one. I should have put it through the other way first. Yeah, 55. Well, I mean, I guess, how much is this gonna chop off of this one now? Well, I don't want to do this, I guess. Let me maybe try to figure out this situation. I'll start doing it the way I should have done it. And then we'll just see what I can do with this. Oh, geez. Maybe a little bit tighter, I guess. Huh. That would be interesting that it's a little bit shorter than that now at this point. Man, oh man. Should have been an exact thing. Either way, these are super pretty. I will say that. And today I picked up my form that I am going to use to do the advanced technique one. And see, that's just short. Huh. I don't know, you guys. So now, since this would be that, like, technically, like, this needs to be the top of the soap, and I was gonna make them thinner that way. So this needs to be the top, that needs to be the top. Maybe once I figure out how to cut these ones, like I'll take this just a little bit shorter off of here because I don't have like a planer thingy. Okay, so, and then maybe I'll end up like cutting one off this way, so even though it won't be like the actual swirl pattern. Okay, so 65 is what that is. So if I set it at this one, oops, that's tighter. I need to now loosen it. Okay, so at the like 65 height, that one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're gonna tighten this. I can definitely see, like, I guess maybe, you know, when people would typically do this, you wouldn't be changing this height all the time. You would just know like what your soap is going to be. And maybe if I had another beveler thingy, where it, or a planer, I guess. A planer is what I need. Holy mother of goodness, like this is taking forever. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're just going to confirm again. This should be just below. This should say, no, it does not. So I guess I need to go down just a little bit more because it just barely fits on there underneath the whatever.